I did not make my channel off of being biracial. I'm not biracial. What are you talking about? You're so funny, kind of, honestly, and a little annoying, because you constantly have the same ignorant idea that someone who is lighter than you is mixed, because you are uncomfortable with people being more black than you and lighter than you. That's what I am. I'm lighter than you, but I'm more black than you. My mother is lighter than you too, and she's more black than you too. You're only 85% black. I'm over 90% black. My mother is over 90% black. So, I mean, skin color has nothing to do with this. I've said this and stressed this so many times, to say that skin tone doesn't have to do with if you're more black than someone. It doesn't. And you can't take that type of talk to brown skins. Everybody knows brown skins can be more black than dark skins. It's an easy accomplishment. Now, light skins can do the same thing, but I'm just saying, I'm a brown skin. I'm not even light skin. But you're trying to say that I'm less black than you. Very weird. Now, let's talk about my history, though. You were trying to say that I just all of a sudden became divested or whatever, and that was where my channel was originally. Honestly, my channel comes from Crystal Swirl sector, really. That's not really a sector of colorism and crying about it, and dark-skinned black women talking about being rejected by black men. No, it's actually quite the opposite. If you watch Crystal Swirl's channel, she would talk about dark-skinned black men never getting out of her face, because she's not light-skinned, but she's like my color, you know, a lighter brown hue, a red bone, basically, who basically is thick, basically, big butt, things like that. She talks about her youth and when she was like really tiny waist and thick, and how black men wouldn't get out of her face and how troublesome it was as far as sexual harassment. So for me, I definitely relate to this as someone who's dealt with a lot of sexual harassment from black men throughout my youth, throughout my 20s, you know. It's been so bad that, I mean, like, I never even went to nightclubs or anything social, any social event, because I was always scared that they would come and try and intimidate me and try to approach me and things of that nature. I already have problems going to the store, going to work, going outside, walking the street. You know, you get to make 2 to 3 police reports a year, basically, because these type of men do not like rejection, and it's hard to get away from them. They will be persistent and persistent and persistent, and they won't leave you alone. You know, that's my perspective as a divested woman. I don't want black men, you know, and I'm not one who's dark-skinned, you know, so I have a different perspective than a dark-skinned black woman who's divested, who, you know, some dark-skinned black men don't sometimes harass dark-skinned black women who are divested, and they have the best of both worlds in that regard, because they don't get bothered as much as lighter-skinned black women do for not preferring black men. You know, they kind of are allowed to prefer what they prefer to some extent. But you can find many of the time, you know, they can't be too loud about it, because black men will still feel insecure about it because they feel less than white men, basically. So anyway, my channel came about in January 2020. You didn't even know about my channel. And back then, all I watched was Crystal Swirls, really. And I was a moderator for Cerebral's channel as well. So that's the kind of sector I come from, you know. You can see many of the colorism videos I show in my playlist are from like Cerebral and Shira 7 and Pop by Cherry as well. Basically brown-skinned black women and their perspective on different things, you know. And I agree with them on many things having to do with colorism, Not all the time, but in those particular videos, I definitely did agree with them. Now, I did, at one point in 2019, have an association with the colorism side because I don't believe in colorism, you see. So, I think the reason why I don't identify or agree with colorism is because I'm brown skinned, so I can be dark skinned and I can be lighter skinned, basically, depending on how I tan. See, my natural complexion is about a 310 in Fenty. I'd say on my face I get around a 370 in Vegas in the winter because it's always sunny out here. And the darkest I can get is about 420 in Fenty. 420 in Fenty is pretty dark skinned. I would say it's comparable to Gabrielle Union's color, maybe, possibly, maybe a shade lighter than her. But yeah, it is comparable to dark skin. And I've never been told or treated differently because of my skin tone. I've even been told people don't notice the difference between when I'm on my lighter end or my darker end. But now I do think that people do think that when I'm darker that I do blend with dark-skinned people because I've been asked about foundation types and stuff like that by very dark-skinned people. And I'd always be like, well, we are different colors, but I guess I was close enough to their shade to be concerning themselves with what foundation that I wear. But anyway, so my point is in this is just that, for dark-skinned Black people who claim there's colorism, I don't believe it exists, because I've never experienced it. And I've never seen that when I'm lighter that I get treated better than when I'm darker, I've seen that brown-skinned people will be called dark-skinned when they are not liked, and when they are liked, they're light-skinned. Like, for example, Serena Williams and Beyonce are the same color, but people will say because people are negative towards Serena, she's dark. And Beyonce is light because people like Beyonce. You see, that's what I see. I don't actually see people who are actually physically light being treated better than people who are dark. They just call people different colors depending on how their feelings are. This has to do with mindset, honestly. Your mindset being that dark is bad and light is good. And when you're brown skin, you see this often, that people associate yourself with dark skin when they're trying to be negative towards you, and when they're trying to be positive, it's light skin. That's just how it is. So that's how I feel about that whole situation. A few other things I want to talk about in this whole scenario with biracial issues that you thought I was included with. The golden sphere, honestly, has had tussles with me in the past, and that's how I found your channel. I definitely do war against the golden sphere and the exotical sectors often, because my perspective before I had this channel was I had another channel, and it was about, like I said, the colorism sector. And I was associated with the golden sphere for a sec before I saw that they were attacking dark-skinned Black women. My mother is dark-skinned, so I would never loudly and proudly attack dark-skinned Black women. How do you attack dark-skinned Black women when you came from a dark-skinned Black woman? Loudly and proudly on the internet where everyone can see you and then find out your mother is dark-skinned. Like, that would make no sense to me. That's stupid to me. And then on top of it, they were trying to embrace dark-skinned Black men, liking the fact that they were preferred by dark-skinned Black men. I don't like that. A major problem for me is harassment from dark-skinned Black men. So, that's an issue to me. I don't like it. Some people like that. I don't like it. I'm not attracted to dark-skinned Black men. I think they look like women. So, that's another part of it, So that's why for me in 2020 when I made this channel, because I shut the other channel down because I was like, there's the divestors who are dark skinned, and then the lighter skinned people are just basically mammies for dark skinned Black men, right? So I don't really fit because I'm not dark skinned, and I'm not going to mammy for a Black man because I don't prefer them. That's one of my big complaints. So what ended up happening for me was I stumbled upon Crystal Swirl's channel, who is a lighter skinned woman who talks about black men and not preferring them and not wanting them, and I totally related to her. So that's why I started making a channel again, and that was on divestment. So as far as my channel goes, yes, my channel is definitely on divestment, and it's also about being conservative. Those are major things. If you watch what I watch, as far as content, I watch conservative content and I watch divested content, but mostly conservative. As far as me being black, like I said, I'm more black than you. I'm 92% black. My mother is 93% black. See, this is me, and this is you. You're darker than me. I'm lighter than you, but I'm more black than you. Now, this is my mother. She's lighter than you, too. See? You, I think, have a filter here, but she's still lighter than you. And she's more black than you. 93% black. Now, this is me again. I'm more black than you. I'm lighter than you. And this is Crystal Swirls. She is lighter than you. She's 86% black. You're 85% black. She's more black than you, but she's lighter than you. Now, this is the Mademoiselle. She is lighter than you as well. She's lighter than you. And she's more black than you, most likely, because she's Haitian. And Haitians are generally around 95% black. So she's more black than you too. Now, this is Bossy. She's just evenly as black as you. See? And she's 85% black, just like you. But she is lighter than you. Again, the Mademoiselle here, lighter than you and more black than you. Again, Bossy here, just as black as you and lighter than you. Yep, lighter than you. Now this is Chris Logic. Chris Logic is, I believe, African, and I think she's majority just black. I think close to 100% black. And she's more black than you, and she's lighter than you, as you can see. More black than you and lighter than you. So that's how that is. As well as Olivia is also lighter than you, and she's in the 80% range as well as you are. See, this determines that you cannot go talking about the whole mixed thing with brown skins, okay? Because we range into the 80s and the 90 percentile as far as blackness. And you can't compare to our blackness mostly, even though you're dark skinned. That doesn't change anything. Dark skin doesn't mean anything when it comes to black genetics. You can have many light-skinned black Africans who are fully African. You can have brown-skinned black Africans who are definitely 100% black and, lighter than you. I'm showing all brown skins here because you brought up me and I'm brown-skinned. So, yeah. Don't talk to me about being biracial. If I'm biracial, what the heck are you? Are you a whole white person? I mean, come on now. You literally have Neanderthal blood. I don't. I have none. None whatsoever. So I'm just saying, as far as genetically, please stay in your lane. And as far as why I subscribe to you, because I want to get into that before I go. I like your channel, actually. I like that you want black men to prefer dark-skinned black women. I think that dark-skinned black men need to cut the hate, self-hate, and actually love their image and actually go for women that look like them. Because it looks lame when they go for other women and they attack their own image and tell people that they're an inferior man and that their phenotype is less than, basically. Who wants to be with someone who thinks that their own phenotype is inferior? I mean, you're basically saying that for those of us who choose dark-skinned black men, that we are inferior because we couldn't choose better. So anyway, I'm just saying that you should, I don't have anything against dark-skinned women preferring whatever, but I'm saying that I appreciate dark-skinned men appreciating your phenotype, and I think your channel is in favor of that. So we have a lot of commonalities. Also, we have a lot of commonalities as experiences as Black women, and how we're treated in society. I know you would not know that because you experience things as a dark-skinned Black woman, but you don't know how it is to be treated as a brown-skinned Black woman or a light-skinned Black woman either. You just assume, but you don't actually know. So many of the things you talk about, I can definitely relate to when you talk about it as a dark-skinned Black woman. It's relatable as a Black woman in total. This is why I'm mostly basically all shades matter, because I think that Black women come in all shades, and I appreciate all the shades that Black women come in, including dark to light to medium, So that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment down below and have a great day. Bye.